How can I sit?
Welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. Funny story, everybody, and Jimmy can back me up on this. I actually played the theme song and forgot to press the live button, so that's why I'm like 2 minutes late. Okay. So anyway, hello everyone. I'm back. Jimmy's back, and today we're not going to play political sketches. It's just a standard interview show. And how are you doing, Jimmy?
I am doing absolutely awesome. I'm just letting you know that StreamYard has some new thing now where even if you're streaming on your StreamYard, I can go and stream onto my channels through it too. So just so you know, I am actually live on my Twitch channel right now as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm live on my Twitch channel as well and everything. So
hell yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
but I'm doing awesome. Thanks for
yeah. See your little icon over there on the side.
You see it? I just did it while your little intro was going. It said to stream to my own channels. I was like, yeah, let me see if I could do that, and it actually worked. So yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
How are you?
Great. I hope you had a great birthday last weekend.
I did. It started out crap, but it ended up pretty well. Like let's see. I went to Universal Studios. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go check out the new Mario World over at Universal Studios. And so I got the tickets and I went there, but it was ridiculously hot. It was just over exhaustingly hot there. There was like no shade, no trees there. Mario World was very smaller than I expected. I just came to realize, like, I think I'm a little bit too old for theme parks now too. And so like the line just for the one ride in the Mario World it said 170 minutes waiting line, and it was just in the baking sun. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it. But on the way home, I did go buy Jamba Juice, and they gave me a free juice, like a Jamba Juice for free because it was my birthday. So it ended up pretty good. I was excited. And I got this really cool t-shirt that has a dinosaur, a T-Rex on it. And he's got like the little clumper arm thing, like extenders. And it says, I am unstoppable. So I was excited about that. It ended up pretty good. I got to play some games with my friends and hang out and stay up late. So it ended pretty well. I'm just not going back to a theme park again for sure.
Well, I mean, other than that, I'm glad you had a pretty good birthday. Missed you last Saturday on the Secret Show.
I know. I couldn't get back in time. Plus, I wanted to just enjoy my birthday and relax and stuff. But I was watching you guys, and I was like looking at the audience or watching the audience and stuff while I was actually at the beach on the way, getting ready to be on the way home. So it was cool. It was good to see all of you guys saying happy birthday in the comment section and hearing Warren talking about what he started talking about something. I forgot. Oh, smegma or something like that. You guys were like wild in there that night.
Yeah. The music that I do hear for the show, Ken, his band's called Smegma, but Smegma is no longer together, so he's starting something new. But
I love your intro song. Your intro song is so you. Like whenever I imagine you, I always imagine that picture that you shared on Facebook where you're jumping into a crowd at a punk rock concert, and that song is just like so fitting for like that 90s The Cure type vibe, which seems to be like that was like your thing back then.
Yeah, still is.
Still is, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Ken, he's want to be a guest on my show in the near future. We're working things out. Yeah, he's moving to Canada. He's from Maryland, but he just got married. He's moving to Canada. He's going
Oh,
to try
cool.
he's going to try to continue his music career there. So,
Awesome. I see you got a new logo too. Look at the little new logo.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's those little socialist rows there and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I always get asked about this. Like, why do you always use the red flower? It's like it's kind of like whether it's a red rose, a red carnation, or a clenched fist holding a rose. That's kind of the emblem of the of most socialist parties around the world. You know,
Yeah.
some of the big socialist parties around the world. And some of them are not so great anymore. But you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's part. When I was in London in 2006. So
Oh, cool. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
yeah, they just thought I was just an odd duckling, but that's they gave
You're
me
an
a bunch of
OG.
they gave me a bunch of neat posters, like from the African National Congress, some union, some union flyers from the Norwegian Labor Party. I mean, you name it, from all around the world. They just gave me a lot of stuff, and I was like really grateful for it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I guess maybe. So we're going to be talking about Braglands later on, but I think that maybe we should talk about your history and maybe a little bit of mine, but your history and basically where you're from and how you got onto this online space and your political evolution.
Okay. All right. You want me to start now?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. I grew up in what we would call the high desert of California. Very conservative, religious raised, kind of stuck in that town where it was very closed minded, very white. So kind of grew up influenced by a lot of very conservative, maybe more libertarian leaning areas. Um, but I learned to rebel at in my 20s of all the stuff that I've been pretty much raised on. So I kind of always like to rebel from a lot of the conservative stuff. It wasn't until with right along with a lot of people. I mean, I've always considered myself extremely political, but I've never really jumped into politics until I found out about Bernie Sanders, like I said, with a lot of other people. And it kind of I just dived into politics and got into it as much as I could and learned as much as I could. Try to find my own spot in it, running for office or volunteering for different people's campaigns. And then that's when I come to find out that I've always had this just a creative spark about me. And so video editing and graphic designing and all of that just kind of fit in with the political stuff I was already doing. And so I just jumped into that and learned it as much and as fast as I could by doing as much as possible for people. And that's pretty much what got me into it. Just people really liked my work and, word of mouth to the next person to the next person. So I continued to keep getting, little jobs here and there, little volunteer jobs of creating things for political people. And that's pretty much where I am now, is just now that I've done it for so long, I've given my work for free for so long for so many people that now I'm starting just within the last year or so starting to realize that, maybe my work is good enough to even go up higher and maybe try to start making some money off of it eventually and all of that. So that's pretty much how I got started, just like everybody else, Bernie. And it just kind of jump started my passion and real love for getting deeply involved in politics, for sure.
Absolutely, and everyone, some of the graphics you see on this program, she's responsible for it. She's responsible for the beautiful artwork, and it is beautiful artwork. The intro and the outro. I want to appreciate what you have done. You've actually improved my channel.
Thank you. That's what I love to do. That I think that's like part of my love in this thing is I like to call myself Mary Poppin is like somebody needs help. So I like come in on my umbrella, go in there and help you. And then I'm like off on my umbrella off to the next person that needs the help until you need my help again. And then I'll give you your spoonful of sugar and be on my merry way. That's what I really love. I just want to see other people grow. I'm like everybody's number one cheerleader. If you're a small channel or a regular channel, it doesn't even matter. And you want to grow. I'm here to make your dreams come true. I love seeing other people happy. So
Uh,
that's
and I'm very happy with what you've done with my channel.
your
Again,
channel is fun with the red and the roses and the punk rock music. Like I loved doing your stuff. Your stuff was a blast to do. It's not very often where I get to have fun in graphics because it's always usually very political, you know, red and blue and all that stuff, you know. So with yours, I actually got to have a little bit of fun with it too. So even just like the numbers that are like counting down and spinning, like the little animation and stuff, I had so much fun with all of that. The fiery sparks coming up from the bottom. It was your intro and outro was a blast to make.
I appreciate that. Well, speaking of creation, I guess maybe I will, even though it's my channel, I'll give my brief history for any newcomers here. My name is Willy Bragg, and I grew up. I was born in North Carolina. Grew up in North Carolina. Grew up in a small town in northeastern North Carolina, very rural, very conservative. I went to East Carolina. And right now, with the Bernie campaign, even though I've been a socialist for the longest time, the Bernie Sanders campaign 2016 and 2020, I was an activist prior. I took a little time off because I was burned out from the Bush years of all that protest that was going on. So during the Obama years, I was kind of asleep like everybody else, but Bernie Sanders kind of sparked me to get back into it again. And I created this channel to help him out in 2020, only to have him drop out a month later. So I decided just to keep the channel going, and here I am. And I got up with KRTD Media, and we're about to start doing a project together soon. So I'll let you talk about Braglands if you like.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So I know, you know, there's so many people out there talking politics or just politics all the time and or just talking, let's say, you know, YouTube drama or you know, celebrity drama or whatever. I figured, you know, it's about to be political season. So obviously, you know, people are going to be into politics, but why not have some fun with it as well? And I really enjoy your company, Willy. You're so much fun to hang out with. And I'm so excited to learn more about you and the things that you like to talk about. So I came to you with this show idea of just us getting together one day a week just to talk about, you know, a couple things that stuck out to us that week, whether it be news, politics, you know, celebrity gossip, anything, you know, and just have a cool, fun conversation. That way we don't feel stressed of having to keep up with everyday stuff like, you know, the political and the issues and everything like that, but also be able to keep up with it if you want because it's your passion. I really enjoy the fact that we are going to be able to have a show where we could just talk about whatever comes up to us that week and we feel passionate about talking about, because that's pretty much like the point of a lot of us doing these kind of shows is just trying to get people to see different sides of things. And if you can, you know, find a celebrity news something that compares with a real life situation to regular people, there's ways for people to get their aha moments with just regular conversations. And I think that with us and with that show coming this fall, we're going to be able to at least try to start something like that. Now we still have a lot of, you know, like little bugs and fixes of what we want the show to end up being, but I think this is a really good jumping point for us to not feel so stressed about having to do a show every week and have fun and still be able to talk about the things that really mean a lot to us.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking of, yeah, like you just said, kind of like a variety of things. Yeah, obviously the hardcore serious politics, but lighthearted stories, stories maybe sometimes not even so political, you know, just kind of a variety of things to talk about. And yeah, and folks, the program's going to be called Braglands.
Yes, your last name and my last name together. I really like that. Like I've always wanted to do a show with somebody to take like their name and then part of my last name, which is Land, so Sunderland. So the land part, and I always thought your last name is so fucking cool. So Bragland was like perfect. I you can't get any better than our two last names mixed together like that. That was just the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely. And folks are probably going to be, and me and Jimmy got to work the details out, but we're probably thinking about a month from now, right? Or something like that. Yeah. So,
August is coming. September is coming very soon.
yeah. So, so everyone watch out for Braglands. They will be on in the near future.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So
I want to say hi to the people in my chat really quick because I'm seeing my shit is going off right now. What is up, Aussie Cookies? And what is up, Hirsch? It's good to see you guys. These are like a couple of my new friends. I've been hanging out in like Discord gaming a lot recently. Been playing a game called Sea of Thieves, which were like pirates. It's probably the most funnest video game I've played in a very long time. So I've been hanging out with Hirsch in there. I just met Aussie. He's from Australia. He's fucking awesome. Very, very cool. You'd love to hear his accent. I love Australian accents. I love accents, period, but Australian accents are really, really cool. So good to see you guys in the chat, and thanks for coming over here and supporting me. That's way, way cool. Thanks.
Looks like we have Angel here, Angel Rivera.
Yeah, you see that? Angel's up in here. He's got a show too.
Yes, yep. Yeah, he was here about 2 weeks ago on my show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was a guest a couple of weeks ago. So,
yeah, he's popping off on Twitter too. I love his little things on Twitter. He always gives like a different opinion, like a different, like get people to think about things instead of just like that one-sided, you know, scoped view of things all the time. He just kind of like throws a fork in the machine every once in a while. It's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and we have one thing profoundly in common too. Well, he's Puerto Rican and I'm half Puerto Rican, so we started to talk a little bit about Puerto Rico and what we know, what we know about Puerto Rico, some of the places and everything like that on on my show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, cool! That's awesome. Yeah, you've been getting a lot of really good interviews the last few months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just I thought about that today. I think that Dolores Pierce may be on the show Around the World with Dees and Friends. We're thinking in a couple of days, probably next week.
Oh, cool! That's awesome. She's doing really, really good too over there.
Yeah. So and let's see. I was on the Jamar Jabari podcast on Tuesday, yesterday, and I will be on Politics with Dustin. I was telling you about his show earlier. I'm going to be on his show this coming Saturday.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm so proud of you. You're out there fucking networking. That is so awesome. I don't know how you do it. You're like work, shows, and network. You're like a triple threat out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I figure what's the worst they can tell me? No.
Right. No, hey, you freaking got it. You're the one that got me to over 1,000 subscribers over at KRTD, and I'll never forgive you or forget you for that. So, I mean, you're out there doing it. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I just I saw y'all where it's like so like in the 900s. I was like, it would be kind of cool if they can get up to 1,000. So I was encouraging everybody to
yeah, no, you did the work. Like I woke up the next morning, we were over 1,000. It was way, way cool. And you got it. I wasn't even prepared to get over 1,000 until the New Year's. I was waiting for the New Year's to hit that. And when we hit it in November, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That you're awesome. You're a rock star out there. You're doing good.
Appreciate it. I'll tell you, when I interviewed Scott Ritter a couple of months ago, and I
got so many views for that show. Oh my god!
Listen, I went to sleep that afternoon. It was around noon when he had to sign off, and went to sleep because I work graveyard shift. And when I got up, it was like at first it was like 1,500 people viewed it. I was like, holy cow. Yeah. I had 20 new subscribers that day. I was like, oh my goodness.
It was way cool. I was like, oh my God, here's the jumping point for Willy. I was so excited when I saw that. I was so excited.
Yeah, it was up to 2,000 and it was 3,000, 4,000. I said, this is like kind of a viral video for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's only up from here. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I mean, that's wonderful when things like that. And I think that, just networking, and
Yeah.
and I tell people to go ahead and if you got something to share with the world, go ahead, get on a computer, get a YouTube account, get a Rumble account, get multiple streaming accounts, and just share your thoughts with the world.
Yep. Absolutely. You do
I've
good. I love your little outro too. The little thing that you say at the end of your show every time. That's cool.
Oh, about the free speech absolutism and muckrakers. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to be. Well, I mean, look what the corporate media feeds us every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I know. I'm obsessed with it. Like the whole Upton Sinclair starting of the muckrakers, real actual journalism. Like my I guess you call it like a Hollywood name is what it is. So like the stuff that I've done in the movie industries, my name is Jimi Sinclair because I'm so obsessed with Upton Sinclair. It's like one of my heroes.
yeah, and he was a socialist.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
I
Yeah,
love that. Muckraking is I wish we could get back to muckraking and like real journalism.
yeah. I mean, it's out there. It's just that the corporate media and powerful people do everything they can to kind of bury it and keep it under the rug. When
Yep.
YouTube came into being, it's hard to believe 20 years ago when
I
YouTube.
know.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday when it
I
came
know.
into being 20 years ago. You had people that started to do this on their own, and they got away from mainstream news. And I'm going to defend the Young Turks for a brief moment.
Ugh.
When Yeah, I know today, but back then when they were actually something,
Yeah.
and growing, they actually back then prior to that, it was Fox News and talk radio and crazy TV evangelists on Sunday mornings that controlled the political narratives of this country. When the online left started to do its thing, um, that narrative got blemished, and now even though those forces are still they still have their echo chamber, the new media that came about, and we're part of it too. Um, we're challenging their narrative, and they hate it.
Yeah. No, and they're still doing the same. I mean, any kind of real type of journalism we've tried to even have in the last few years has just been shut down. You got like Aaron Matei and Max Blumenthal. You had RT News. Like you can't even find RT News on the internet barely anymore, which we used to have. We used to be able to watch it. Randy Credico's out there doing really good work still. There's people out there that are still doing really good journalism, but they're definitely shut down. I mean, the Convo Couch too. They were doing really good down in South America. So
Oh
it just,
yeah,
they get
yeah.
shut down or censored a lot.
I was telling Fiorella Isabel a couple of months ago that I discovered Combo Couch around 2019. So by that time, I was sort of moving away from Young Turks and moving away from Majority Report, moving away from David Pakman and stuff like that, because that's all I was watching prior to that, a really sanitized version of it, which was prior at that time, it was still edgy, but
Mhm.
I kind of grown beyond it.
Yeah.
Kyle Kalinske might have been the last of those big wigs I was still listening to, and I just the video he did last week about Democrats being trillion times better than Republicans. I'm like, Kyle, come on, really?
Hmm.
Even 5 to 6 years ago, he wouldn't have said that.
Hmm. No, I know.
Yeah.
He's turning into a shit lib anyway as well too. I got past him a couple of years ago and I got into Vosh for a second because I just needed that next level of intelligence past like what, Kyle Kalinske, the Humanist Report, and the other guy, they all like those three dudes look the same. Like they literally look the same. I just got past all that and I needed a higher set of intelligence. So I got into like Destiny and Vosh and shit. And even them, like they're the freaking same as well. It's really hard like to find anybody that's at least with some form of intelligence able to combat the talking points from both the left and the right. It's really hard. Like I got into Hassan just this last year, and even sometimes I can't watch him because he gets a little shit libbery as well too. So it's hard to find anybody decent or good out there with a following too. Like that's what I love about us is like we all say whatever we want and we all have like the little like 100 people that watch us, but at least we fucking know that we're right. That's all that matters. Like, y'all are, making 30,000 views and getting all this money and shit, but you're literally like wrong. So whatever.
With Jimmy Dore, Jimmy Dore's one of the big names that kind of held true to what he, to the to his convictions. He didn't get shit liberty like the rest of them. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes, every once in a while, he may come up with a take that I'm like, I don't know about. I'm like, I have to think twice about. But of the big names, better than David Packman, better than Young Turks, and better
Sam
than
Cedar
and all of that. And there would have been a time I would have said he would have been equal to Kyle Kalinske, but as I said, I just the trillion times better. Harm reduction I can understand. I understand harm reduction, but I don't understand a trillion times better. I can't conceptualize that at all.
Yeah, no, I think what Kyle's problem is he got too deep into like the Democrats with his whole Justice Democrats and wanting to infiltrate the Democrats, that he's probably just still stuck on the hope that he can infiltrate the Democrats, and he hasn't gotten past that point of like they're not worthy of saving anymore. We need to start a third party. I just don't think he will ever. I mean, he probably would have gotten to that point, but with him meeting Crystal and her being the shit lib that she is, he's not. He's officially hit a stuck point. He's gonna stay there.
Now, as I said, around December 2019, I discovered Combo Couch, and it was a perspective that I appreciated. And then I got introduced to the Gray Zone and got introduced to some of the others out there and everything. Right now, I'm Due Dissonance is what I probably listen to Due Dissonance and RBN probably more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, I know they got a 2-week ban right now.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and they didn't specify. YouTube didn't specify what the ban was about.
Of course, because that's what YouTube does. I mean, they did the same thing to your video. You literally were watching a video about the Carnation Revolution, and they gave us a strike for that. So, and they didn't even tell you exactly where at in the video it was at. So that's YouTube. Yeah, I don't watch I don't watch any of them anymore. I just stopped. I stopped. Like when I stopped doing my show, I was like, I just need to stop getting so deep into this politics stuff. Plus, like a lot of those, like these up and coming channels, like, and I love all these people to death. I've worked with them, but like even, like RBN and the Vanguard and a couple of the other ones, they're starting to get into like more of this like drama between each other kind of stuff. And that's kind of what turned me off. I'm like, I'm not here to watch you guys talk shit about what this other, like it got to a point where it was like the meta of meta. They would like watch a video about like RBN would watch a video about the Vanguard watching a video about RBN, and I was just like, no, I can't do this. Like, am I in the Matrix right now? Like, this is just too much. So I didn't unsubscribe, but I just stopped watching them to the point now they don't even come up in my recommended page on YouTube anymore. So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind for all of them.
I remember about a year and a half ago when I first started corresponding with Nikki, and she has that live stream on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And I was telling somebody about her live stream because she covered my video. And I was like, well, basically, she's covering a commentary that I have covered on Kyle Kalinske and Bosch discussing the drama between the Young Turks and Nikki was doing a video on my commentary on Kyle Kalinske and Bosch talking about progressive voices discussion about the Young Turks and Jimmy Dore.
That's a lot. That's too much.
It took me a while to remember that, but it was something along those lines.
Right. I know it's so hard to watch Nikki nowadays too. Ever since she moved to Russia, like I'll wake up in the morning and she's already done live streaming. She started live streaming at like 3 a.m. my time, and I can't even watch her anymore. I get so sad.
Yeah, I work graveyard shifts, so
you get to watch her.
Sometimes at the very tail end, or he'll be like at the tail end of it or something like that. So
yeah.
So
I'm sad. I miss her.
Yeah, I did too. Because when she was living in San Diego, it was easy because it was 8 o'clock my time, and it was like 5 her time. She'll get
Yep.
online. And it would be before I go to work, and I'll,
Yep.
and she was covering my stuff a lot back then, and I was just like,
Hmm.
so it was like, oh, let me see if I'm getting covered today.
Yeah, she would start her show right as soon as I was ending my show. So I would always go and raid her channel, and then that's what I would watch until she was done with her show for that day. So it was like it started to become a routine for a couple of months, and then she moved to Russia and started changing her times, and I couldn't watch her anymore because I was sleeping during those times. And it sucks because I really like her show. She's got a cool show. She's like the female Hassan, which is nice, but better.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, let's see, and I had to take pride. She's from North Carolina, just like me.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
there's a couple of people.
California Fool says that he watches the reruns on Twitch. That's probably what I should do for sure. What's up, Sally? Hi. Hey, girl. Hey. That's my Sally.
Oh, Sally. Oh, hi,
That's my
Sally.
that's my friend.
Let's see here. In North Carolina, we have a couple of other folks. There's Andrea Ravinsky. She's a trans streamer from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. She's from Pennsylvania, but she lives in Elizabeth City and does good work with with the police brutality crap that goes on and everything. I mean, she does, good work, activist work, but she has some really bad shit lib takes, like AOC wanting to see AOC run for president. I'm like,
Hmm.
holy cow, you know,
Hmm.
can't,
Yeah. We
yeah.
just got to keep our eye out for new up and coming people that aren't into all the drama that, you know, we agree with. That's what's so great about these like social media platforms and these like media platforms like YouTube and Twitch and all this stuff is there's always going to be the next newcomer who's going to agree with you if you stop believing in what this other person says. So there's plenty of fish in the sea out there, as they say.
Now, a couple of weeks, maybe about a month ago, I think about a month ago, I had Dr. Weiss here, Shelly Weiss here.
Miss Sherry, I love Miss Sherry. She actually said for Bragland, if we ever want her on the show to come and hang out, she was more than happy to come. So I definitely want to bring her on a few times. I love listening to her about microeconomic stuff and macroeconomics, anything economics. I love listening to her. She's got such cool ideas. Plus, she's a boomer, so it's cool like to compare that mentality to like nowadays mentality because she sees the outside perspectives on a lot of things too and sees the mess ups as well. So she's probably one of my favorite people. She's incredible.
She explained debt in such a way that I'm like, I wish that people would understand this, because I mean,
Yeah.
when and I'm going to confess, I was not really all that in tune with MMT the way I need it to be, but
Mhm.
it's kind of like when it comes to economics, I know that we need to expand the unions. I know we need universal health care, but but the mechanisms of how to pay for it. And I know the one argument that I run across from people who are critical, whether they're softly critical or harshly critical, is like, how are you going to pay for it? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with an answer. So, but I love how she explained it, that we can actually have these things if we
Mhm.
control the debt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much when people say we need to lower the debt, pretty much what they're doing is asking you to give up whatever you have. Like the table, that microphone, your watch, your shirt, that's all national debt. So you can't sit there and say like we need to tax everybody even more to get rid of this national debt. That means you're asking me to get rid of what I already have, and I'm not willing to do that because in the federal terms when they say taxes don't fund spending, that means that they spend first and tax later. If the government put out $100 into existence, they have to put that out there first before they can tax back that $90 to leave $10 out there into existence. Like if you think about it, when money first got started, what came first, taxes or spending? You can't, like, if you're playing a monopoly game, you don't put everybody on their part of the board and then say, all right, give me the money, and then I can start divvying it out and handing out the money to start playing the game. The bank starts handing out the money first, and then you pay taxes or you buy houses and buy properties on monopoly board. That's exactly how the economy runs, is exactly that. So when people are like, that's my tax money, and how are you going to pay for it? Like, it's there. All you have to do is Congress has to write a law. It's get that or a bill gets passed by Congress, and everything. It gets sent over to the Treasury with that amount on it. The Treasury goes onto the computer, says this company or this bank gets this amount of money, and it just shows up on their computer screen that next second. That's it. But they love to keep us dumbed down and not understand all that stuff, because if we all figured it out, then we would have more control than what we do. But they just keep us in that fear, that perpetuated fear of bankruptcy and going into really bad debt and owing money to China. Like, how the fuck do we owe money to China? If you had a fucking printing machine in your house, you gave it out to your friends or even loaned it to China, that's now you owe China money. Like, how can you owe money to a country that doesn't even create the dollar? Like, America is the only people that can create the dollar. So how can you be in debt to a country that doesn't even create your dollar? It makes no sense. Like, the things that they say just make no sense to me. And that's what I love about Sherry, is a lot of the academics in the MMT world are microeconomists. So they take little nitpicks and they start nitpicking it, like little specific things, breaking it down into pieces. But because Sherry is a macroeconomist, she's able to see those people that take nitpicks, take a step back and look at the bigger picture and say, no, this is the problem because this is the majority or minority, or this is a percentage. Like, she's really good with that. The only problem is because she's a macro economist in that academy world of MMTers, she's very ostracized in there because of it. And it sucks, because if it wasn't for Sherry, I wouldn't have had a lot of my aha moments in the MMT world when I did study it. So she's amazing, and she's such a great teacher on it. It's just people in the MMT world really don't treat her very well because she sees things differently than they do.
Well, I have a friend that's a hardcore anarcho-capitalist style libertarian, and he told me, because he told me about his take on it. He told me there's something you'd be interested in. He said, I heard a lecture on MMT, and he said even though he really disagrees with it, he almost got convinced by it.
Yeah, well, you can't disagree with it. MMT isn't like an opinion or somebody's feelings. It's facts. MMT is just an explanation of how our economy works. People just still think that as soon as we got off the gold standard and started becoming a free floating fiat currency, that's just, they have like this imagination of what that could be. And they think like MMT is just explaining to people a different way that the economy is. And it's not. MMT is just saying, this is how our economy works right now. Whether you like it or not, feelings or facts are facts. Fuck your feelings. Like, this is how it works. But just a lot of people still haven't come to terms with that. At least just regular people. I mean, a lot of people are starting to have, within the last few years, come to terms with MMT and started understanding it, which is a good thing, because all the politicians know exactly what MMT is. They know exactly what it is. They use it to their benefit and keep us stupid into thinking that that's not how, like, MMT is just a dumb thing and your taxes do fund spending and all of that. So I'm proud of all the people that are getting to know MMT, because it was such a big part of my life and learning experience, especially in the economy of America and how it's run and shit. So it's huge to learn it, and it's very hard. It's very difficult, very big rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I mean, I should have known about it earlier. My dad got a BA in economics at UNC Chapel Hill, so I should have known about this myself. But
but even in colleges too, like if you like major in economics in colleges, they still teach you all the old stuff. Like they are purposely teaching us the wrong things, like Stephanie Kelton, L. Randall Wray, even my brother Ellis Winningham. Like, all of these academics in the MMT world had to take all the learning they learned in College of Economics and completely unlearn everything and reteach themselves, because schooling is actually teaching us the wrong thing.
Yeah. Now, now when it comes to I don't think he's still alive, but when it comes to schooling and everything, I have to thank a professor by the name of David Conrad, who used to be the chair of the political science department at East Carolina for my politics, because it was taking a class under him that I decided I was a socialist. So
That's right. Awesome.
he taught a course called European Political Systems, and the class was just not. They just thought this is in the early mid 1990s. They were high on Reaganism and everything, so they just thought that what these countries were doing in Europe was crazy. And I'm like, and I absorbed it like a sponge. And I declared myself a socialist before the end of that semester. So
Good.
um, in the fall of 1994, I was just like, and from there on, people got stuck with me. Here I am.
I didn't even get to learn socialism and really what communism and all that stuff was until after Bernie and really getting into it. I definitely was stuck in that whole like communism is bad and socialism is bad until I found out like the fire department is socialism. The post office is socialism. Public transportation is socialism. Like they weren't actually really that bad. So
But there are people out there that want to act like if you support public roads and support the post office, that's somehow woke.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, this whole woke thing is wild to me too. Like this is a whole nother bag of chickens.
Yeah. I mean, now I get accused of being anti-woke by SJW minded leftists who are to my right, and they accuse me of being anti-woke. And people who are actually to my right think that I'm some kind of purple hair, blue hair, pink hair person ready to smack somebody that wears a stupid red MAGA hat on. And I'm like, no, both sides are so wrong. Now, if you want to call me woke and for free speech and against cancel culture, I accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I accept that all day long, but
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is like woke didn't even get started as like this very, like progressive thing that, conservatives thinks is a progressive thing is if you're woke. Like I remember like 10, 15 years ago, like Alex Jones on the radio saying that we need to wake up. Like woke was actually like a conspiracy theory thing. Like if you knew conspiracy theories back in the day before MAGA, like the QAnon stuff happened, where it just like ramped up really, really crazy. Back in the day when you were like a conspiracy theorist, you were known as woke. And that was actually like a good thing in the conservative area. That was all conspiracy theory was a lot of conservatives anyway. So now they've like completely flipped it now too, which is like absolutely crazy. Now they're like against being woke. And it's like, you guys were using this word as a positive thing like 15 years ago. I'm not understanding it. So to me, it's just a whole nother beast. I don't even care. You can call me woke, you can call me anti-woke, but just don't call me late for dinner. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now, Alex Jones, I know that's somebody that I was never ever angry with Alex Jones. I mean, I had my disagreements with him, but it was not like listening to Rush Limbaugh. I was like pissed off like 95% of the time. When I listened to Alex Jones, even when he was extremely wrong on something, he was so outrageous about it. I was like, I can't be mad at him. This dude is funny.
Right. Yeah. He was great. He was hilarious, especially with like the turning the freaking frogs gay. That shit was so fucking funny. Oh my God. That was so funny. Yeah. He's definitely a good guy. He's definitely gone off the deep end a lot, but
I had a hilarious nightmare about him once.
Did you really?
Yeah, about 5 to 6 years ago, I used to work second shift. I came home, and I was just doing what I normally do: go home, and I'll get the laptop, go on the couch, and turn on the TV on mute just to have something flashing in the background. And all of a sudden, I fell asleep and put my laptop on the coffee table, and I just dozed off, and it was left on autoplay. And this is before they drew him off of social media. And I was somewhere in Texas, and I had a Bernie Sanders t-shirt on in this dream, right? And he saw me, and he looked like really pissed, and he started running toward me like he was going to attack me. I was like, oh no, Alex Jones is going to kick my ass. And he just ran around me, and he yelled, "Get out of my way! I'm trying to save the republic!" and I woke up, and it was Alex Jones on the computer screen going, "Move out of the way." He was doing some rap songs. Move out of my way. Move out of my way. I was like, holy cow.
That's
That was
awesome.
real. That felt real.
He gets that angry that he actually seeps into your dreams. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, damn. I was laughing. I was like,
Oh
I
my
had a
gosh.
nightmare about Alex Jones.
Right? Oh, wow.
It was funny. It wasn't freaking me out, but I'm just like, okay, this is why I left the computer on, and it went on an autoplay on Alex Jones, and he went on his rant, and I woke up from the rant, and it just,
Jeez.
yeah, that was
That
so,
is crazy.
yeah. So, and he had his funny moments, where you ever him and Ben Shapiro going back and forth with each other was funny too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy's a character. What's
Yeah.
up, Mr. H? What's up, Mr. H?
Hey,
Mr.
Miguel,
H is
how are
in the
you?
comments. Mr. H is in the comments. I haven't seen Mr. H in a while. Good to see you. I miss everybody.
Yeah, I don't stream as much as I need to because right now I'm saving up to get a new computer because I'm having audio issues. I think it's something to do with the computer. So with the new computer, I think I can have that fixed. So yeah, because I've been checking the StreamYards. I've been actually checking the computer itself, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So because when I stream another video, I'm getting no sound. Like it used to be like half the time. Now I'm getting no sound at all.
When you're presenting and you're presenting something, are you making sure at the bottom left it says play audio? The little box is clicked.
Play audio. I'm gonna have to check that.
So like if you hit present and then you hit share screen, if you look at the bottom left, it'll say share tab audio. And what you want to do is make sure that's clicked. If it's not clicked, then it's not going to play the audio. But if it is clicked and it's not playing the audio, get a hold of me anytime this week, and we'll work on that with you and figure it out. It's just got to be a process of elimination for your computer. So.
Okay, I appreciate that because, as I said, sometimes it will catch a video, sometimes it won't, and I mean, like the audio part, and it just kind of, yeah.
What kind of computer are you using?
Right now, I have two computers, and they're both the same. This is an Acer. It's just a Chromebook Acer, and I'm going to go back to Hewlett Packard as soon as I get my next computer. So I had to get something kind of cheap, an emergency. But now I'm going to spend a little more on my next computer.
Yeah. Worst mistake I ever made was trying to live stream on a Chromebook. I did that probably for like the first 6 months of KRTD through StreamYard, and it was a horrible experience. I was on a live stream panel for Sabby Sab show with like Marianne Williamson and like Lee Camp's wife and like all kinds, Kim Iverson and Savage Joy. Like I was on a panel, and every time Sabby would ask me a question, my shit would just freeze up so bad. And that's when I learned like usually Chromebooks just can't handle like too many people on one screen at one time like it's just too much for it. So your best bet is just to save your pennies and just get yourself a nice good laptop. Like I mean, I got mine a year ago, and it's like one of those gaming laptops. It's the Victus one, and it cost $1,000. And I think you can do like payment arrangements with it too. So that way you can just get a laptop that you know is going to work. And I've had it for a year now, and I haven't had no problems. I'm able to produce other people's shows now because of it. So it's definitely going to level you up big time.
Yeah, that's another thing. Since I'm in a transition with this channel and my new project with Bragg, I need to kind of update what I do. So
What's up, Comrade Kitty? Good to see you. Hey Kitty, I threw my Xbox name into the Twitter chat, so that way you can add me on there, and if you want to hop on some games and stuff and come play, you are more than welcome. It's so good to see everybody.
Oh yeah, according to this screen here, it looks like we got 7 people. So
yay! Hi everybody. All right. So what else you want to talk about?
Let's see here. I guess we'll let you talk about. We were talking about KRTD Media, so
Hmm.
yeah.
So with KRTD Media, like I've been doing, I kind of took a step back, wanted to kind of touch grass for a little bit, just kind of, I don't know, try to be happy again in my life. So I kind of just took a little bit of break from streaming on KRTD. Not doesn't mean I'm not like still, me and Shane aren't running things, and there's still like us doing, little things here and there. Right now we're kind of in the beginning processes of hopefully starting a nonprofit with some chapters, hopefully to get some ranked choice voting going in each state, maybe get that to where that's, the main thing in each state. So I think that's going to be Shane's next new baby, is going to be more of that and less leaning on the media. It's really hard for him. He's starting to now finally become like a full grown up. So, his job, and he's got college and things like that. So it's, he still has the dream of having the media company, but I think it's kind of not major priority at the moment when life kind of hits you a little bit. So, seeing him wanting to get started with just something small with like a chapters nonprofit for that kind of voting and stuff, I think would be really good for him. And I'm really, really excited to help him out and do all that. So I'm in the process now of making like a logo for it, for the name, and making some like trifold brochures for printables to start handing out, and maybe sending to chapter leaders of each state, so that way they can print it out and start doing booths and start activism more or less. So I think what we're getting into is still doing a lot of the media stuff, but more trying to get involved in the activism part. I think we're starting to see like you can't sit in front behind a screen every day and complain. And there's got to be a point where you got to get out there and start doing the footwork. So I'm really proud of him for that.
Yeah, and I think that maybe that's the way a channel can grow too, with actually on the underground activism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
absolutely. Miguel, he's all touch grass. Yes, Miguel, I had to go touch grass. I had to touch grass. I had to go smoke grass. I had to do all that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really proud of him for that. This is going to be really good for him. Plus, he's still young and has so much to experience. Like I'm excited to see what the outcome of this is going to be for him. If this is going to be something positive, or it's going to be maybe something negative that he can learn from. I'm just excited to see him grow. That's all.
Yeah, I remember I met him and Sherry at the at Rage Against War Machine. So it was nice hanging out with them both and everything.
Yeah.
And
I was proud of you guys for that. We got 22,000 views for that live stream. That was really, really good for us.
oh, he was happy that day.
Oh yeah. Shane was so happy.
He was
He called me like 2 days before and was like, I don't know if this streaming thing's going to work. I've got work and all this stuff, and I can't really be there all that much. And then we got those 22,000 views. And the next morning he's like, I love KRTD. What are we going to start bringing more people onto the show? I'm like, you're just in like, honeymoon phase right now from the views. Like, give yourself a week and you're going to go back to normal. Yes, we got good views. Congratulations. You chose a good thing for us to stream. I'm really proud of us. That was awesome. But come back down to reality a little bit.
Yeah, I remember with Rage Against War Machine, I was getting a lot of criticism by some shit libs over this. I mean, like, you're going to a place they have a bunch of libertarians. I'm like, come on, guys.
Right.
I mean, I'm not an economic libertarian, but I mean, I'm like, libertarians are okay. I just don't agree with their economics, but they're okay.
Right. Just because I don't agree with other issues with them doesn't mean that I'm going to ostracize them when it comes to something that we agree on, because there's power in numbers. And if you tell this libertarian, oh, well, I don't like your laissez-faire politics and your lack of regulation, so you can't join me in this anti-war protest, what's ever going to change? Like, this is what the elites want us to do. They want us to sit there and say, well, you don't like this thing, so you can't join me on this. And we have to be separated and all of it. They want us divided. There's got to be how are we ever going to get to a consensus as a humanity if we don't all sit down and debate the things that we don't agree on while being together with things that we do agree on? That's what, like, a lot of people don't make, especially the left and the right, especially those people that think like that. It just drives me absolutely insane. there was so much ridiculousness about that shit with the Rage Against the War Machine. I mean, but same with the whole like force the vote thing. That was absolutely ridiculous. Like, y'all are going to fight over national and state based and hate on each other. Like, congratulations. The pharmaceutical company just won. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy yourself for that?
Well, I hate to tell the critics of force to vote. I was like, look, they said, well, we don't do force. If we do force to vote, we're not going to get any Medicare for all. Well, we didn't do force to vote. Biden is not even trying, give us a public option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
give us something. Give us anything. They could have given us we could have won something even minor, just a little milestone. But no, we're still the same. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They would have waged their leverage. Nancy Pelosi would have said, we can't do Medicare for all, but maybe we could do a public option, or maybe we could do prescription drug reform or something. And I would have lived with a little bit of a compromise, it would have been a step in the right direction. But they decided to keep their powder dry, and they certainly kept their powder dry while centrists like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema used force of vote to destroy Build Back Better, and crazy Republicans used force of vote to get concessions out of Kevin McCarthy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much what they did. The whole Kevin McCarthy thing reminded me of the force the vote thing with the concession. Oh man, that pissed me off too.
And and I'll tell you a funny story. I was watching Bad Faith with Brianna Joy Gray, where she had Vosh on the show because Vosh apparently hates her. And so
I remember watching that, yeah.
Oh my God. She owned him. She basically said, you got something in common with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene did not want the Gates Republicans to use their force of vote leverage, just like you didn't want to use force of vote against Nancy Pelosi. I was just like, that's brilliant. She made him look like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I was like, and she's a lawyer. So, I mean, you could just tell the expression on her face when she's about ready to own somebody's ass. I mean, she looks like, you could just see it. The wheels are grinding inside her head. She's like, she's putting mental notes, and when she goes off on them, I'm like, holy cow, they didn't see it coming.
No, I love it when Bosch gets put down like that, because that guy gets so egotistical with his knowledge. Sometimes he just automatically assumes everything he thinks is right. It's so nice to get him see him humbled every once in a while, for sure. Yeah.
My God, yeah, and it just you ever seen the Turncoat Don video of Brianna Joy Gray and Bosch?
No, I don't think so. Probably. I've seen so many of his videos.
Gosh, I mean, I mean, every time she one point or after another, she like smacked the crap out of him, and it's just awesome watching that. And then he collapsed down on the ground, and you could just see Joe Rogan in the background going, "Yay!" like that.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. What's up, Warren? Warren's in the chat.
Hey, Warren, looking forward to the show tomorrow night. Yep. So
that's right.
Exactly.
Wait, what is he doing tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought today was Friday. Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I'm excited to go back. I'm excited.
My Thursdays and Fridays kind of run in together. That's why I'm going to work in a little while. That's what explains that. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
So anyway, everyone, well, actually, before I make my final announcements, you have any final thoughts?
No, just stay high, everybody, and I miss the shit out of all of you. So
good advice. And all that. And I'm gonna when I close the show, I got to talk to you really brief for a second after the show before I go to work. So
yeah, absolutely. Everybody, go check out my Twitch channel. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers over there, 100 followers or whatever it's called. Image Productions, which is my last name backwards, and then Productions. Please give me a follow over there. I'm probably going to start streaming my gaming soon, which will probably be fun. I'm getting the Twitch, the Twitch studio thing all set up. It's kind of like a Twitch version of OBS just for them. So I'm getting all that set up. I got my friend Sally. She's probably going to be joining me on a lot of gaming adventures. Me and her just are super, super, super fun together. We just love going into games and being the most dumbest people ever. And I absolutely adore it. And it's so much fun. Sally is amazing. She's got that country bumpkin redneck accent because she's from Alabama. And then you've got me with my California accent. I fucking love Sally. Me and her together is just a blast. So we're trying to come up with a name for what we're going to be doing, but we're going to be gaming together a lot. And go give me a follow over there. That's going to be so much fun. We're going to be starting that soon.
All right. And all of her information, Jimmy's information, is on the description box here below. So when you go on my channel, you'll see it in every video. She does the graphic work. So you can see Jimi Sunderland underneath in the description box. So please do follow her on all the appropriate platforms.
Thank you. Good to see you over there, Miguel. Mr. H, thank you.
All right. All right. And if you all like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any ways you disagree. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. And always reject corporate media. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, where I live all the time, obviously. And I will see you all soon. And be sure to watch The Secret Show on Saturday night / Sunday morning at midnight with Warren and Jimmy. So, all right. So until next time, folks, we will see you again soon.